cna.asia/listen.
Terulang apa yang kita alami di masa lalu. Nah, maka sejak awal sebetulnya kita sudah terus-menerus memperingatkan masyarakat tentang bahaya ini. Bahkan saya sampaikan bahwa kalau ada politisi yang masih memanfaatkan identitas sebagai senjata untuk menggalang dukungan, ya pada dasarnya dia boleh dikata sudah menipu konstituennya ya, dengan katakanlah imajinasi yang palsu gitu ya. Kalau ada politisi misalnya berteriak-teriak membela Islam, apanya dari Islam yang tidak dia bela gitu ya. Dan apa yang mungkin dia bisa lakukan untuk itu? Ini semuanya hal yang hanya memanipulasi emosi dan kecenderungan identitas tanpa menawarkan visi yang rasional. Dan itu tidak sehat.
Orang yang teriak tentang anti politik identitas itu sebenarnya dia meneriakkan politik identitas diri sendiri. Karena nggak ada partai yang nggak punya identitas. Identitas PDI apa? Demokrasi. Identitas partai-partai yang lain adalah nasionalis, mungkin religius. Nah, orang justru menghilangkan identitas itu sebenarnya adalah menyerang Islam. Karena kita nggak bisa dilepaskan dari identitas kita manapun. Ini identitas.
The 2019 contest has been a major test for Jokowi as he sought re-election. Disinformation, known as hoaxes in Indonesia, stoked ethnic and religious tensions. Some hardline groups accused Jokowi of being anti-Islam, throwing their support behind his challenger, Prabowo Subianto. Jokowi cannot run again in 2024, but Prabowo is expected to throw his hat in the ring. Among his challengers are Central Java Governor Ganjar Pranowo and former Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan. Anies won the gubernatorial race in 2017 with support from conservative Muslim groups after his Christian contender Basuki Cahayapurnama or Ahok was accused of blasphemy.
Identity politics, part of politics, that will be made into an issue. But we have seen, the worst was during the gubernatorial election in Jakarta, as if Indonesia is going to break up. And then, during the presidential election between Pak Jokowi and Pak Prabowo, and then 2019 again. But after that, all of these elites got back together, and Pak Prabowo joined the cabinet. So I think the people on the ground should be smart enough to say, not to take politics too hard, And it is, I hope that the political elites will not make cheap use of identities, which could be very damaging, very polarizing, just to score points.
Kalau politik identitasnya sendiri per definisi itu kan ada masalah. Karena politik identitas di zaman postmodernisme memang muncul di mana-mana kan. Feminisme itu politik identitas, LGBT itu politik identitas, ya, etnik itu politik identitas. Yang masalah itu ketika dia dipolitisasi untuk mencapai tujuan kekuasaan. Itu apalagi atas nama agama, karena sentimen agama itu gampang sekali menyulut kemarahan.
The fear then is not that widespread religious conflagration will occur in Indonesia. Instead, as politicians lean into populism, the danger is of a slow, creeping erosion of the state ideology Pancasila.
Kalau Pancasila tidak dipertahankan, tentu kita pemeluk agama Buddha di Indonesia khawatir bisa terjadi mungkin satu gejolak-gejolak baik secara sosial, politik, nantinya akan berimbas kepada praktik beragama di Indonesia. Misalkan mungkin kebebasan di dalam beribadah, hak dan kewajiban untuk saling beribadah dan lain sebagainya. Nah, ini mungkin nanti bisa lebih agak tertekan ya kalau tidak dijadikan Pancasila sebagai dasar negara.
Sudah seharusnya pemerintah menegakkan bersama apa yang sudah dijamin oleh konstitusi terhadap kebinekaan kita. Artinya perlu pembelajaran yang tegas juga terhadap persoalan-persoalan di mana adanya tindakan-tindakan yang diskriminatif oleh negara terhadap warganya, itu satu pelanggaran yang tidak boleh dianggap remeh.
This is the season where presidential hopefuls announce their candidacy. The cancellation of the Under-20 World Cup is a reminder for the country to brace itself for another volatile leadership contest. But many place their hope on a bulwark against more extremist tendencies. A bulwark made up of Indonesia's silent, moderate majority.
Kelompok yang namanya kelompok moderat, kelompok progresif, mereka itu adalah silent majority ya. Mereka itu tidak akan bicara secara asertif atau agresif. Mereka itu nunggu kasus aja, nunggu isu aja. Kalau tidak ada isu ya mereka diam saja, mereka bekerja. Tapi nanti begitu ada isu mereka akan bicara gitu, sesuai yang dibutuhkan. Saya kira itu sudah benar lah.
When I was in Norway, when I tried to explain, how complex Indonesian society is, it is not easy, because they used to read all the news from Middle East, all the conflicts, all the violence, that take place in Middle East countries, in Syria, in Afghanistan, in all these countries. That is the perception on Islam. But I told them, Indonesia has been very peaceful since they proclaimed their independence. Yes, there are issues of violence in certain places, but I don't think it is that significant to consider Indonesia as a violent state. But again, Indonesia needs to speak up more. Indonesia needs to reach out. I told Nahdlatul Ulama and Muhammadiyah when I nominated them to win the Nobel Peace, speak up.
This program is available on demand for free on MeWatch.
If you put anything in digital form, you are at risk for cyber attack.
The lockdown that scarred a generation.
जी सबसे बड़ी बात तो ये है कि तालीम एक विंडो है एक पूरी कंप्लीट यूनिवर्स में.
Pulau Senang became an island of terror.
They hacked his body and then he was burned alive by the very people he want to help.
I ran to the shin like a hell.
I think that this is a new world disorder.
Our profession was music, and that profession was not welcome.
If you could make almost anything, what would you do with that?
We have artificial intelligence, which will tell us which is the best embryo to implant.
Over here, tech support means scam. Kalau Mila waktu main itu kayak ngerasa seneng bangga sama diri sendiri.
The sound of Asia. Asia.
On the CNA app.
On CNA.Asia.
On Google Assistant.
Play news from CNA.
And on your radio.
This is CNA 938.
Understand Asia.
Now, the CNA 938 World Report. I'm Caroline Malone in Washington. Today, the United States reveals its intelligence shows South Africa has supplied Russia with weapons.
There is a possibility to curb the escalating cost.
And you're listening to The Heart of the Matter. For the full interview, find it on the CNA website, the CNA and Me Listen apps, and on major podcast platforms. This weekly news discussion is out every Friday, and if you don't want to miss an episode, follow or subscribe on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Coming up in just about 3 minutes, the Midnight News.
This is CNA 938, your city, your world.
Students are being schooled on sustainability.
She's turned it up a notch and opened her own cafe.
The city has narrow streets, cafes, hotels, art galleries, and restaurants. I want to go to this place.
And that's by making legal processes simpler and more efficient and helping parties to fulfill their responsibilities in the long term.
Other than a museum, it also doubles up as an investment advisory firm for high-end watches.
So it's a US-based Asian auntie who decides to solve the murder of a man who ends up dead in her tea house.
We first have to see that it's a social thing. We don't jump into the word addiction and just label every child. Yes.
This is CNA 938, where you don't miss a thing.
This is CNA 938, streaming live on CNA.Asia and on Me Listen, the new home for free digital audio from all of Mediacorp's radio stations. As well as listening live, you can also log on for podcasts and other interactive features.
This is CNA 938, your city, your world.
The first flight of the most powerful rocket ever built was cut short.
It's giving out $2.5 billion worth of spending vouchers.
How close may we be from the end of the US dollar dominance?
But the World Health Organization says there's no turning off the pandemic switch.
World demand for their products likely pick up in the third to last quarter of the year as China rebuilds.
This is the third major US bank to fail in 2 months.
So do we really understand the space that our children live in?
This is CNA 938, where you don't miss a thing.
The sound of our world. Our world.
On CNA.Asia.
On Me Listen.
On Google Assistant.
Play news from CNA.
And on your radio.
This is CNA 938.
Understand Asia.
Next, news and current affairs through the night.
This is World Tonight.
Good evening, I'm Keith Liu. Tonight's top stories. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meets with Pope Francis at the Vatican as he looks to shore up support against Russia's ongoing war. India's main opposition Congress party defeats the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party in a crucial poll in Karnataka, ousting the BJP from its only bastion in the south.